get closer. get closer. Aim range. finest woods. Careful. here. Safe travel.
Awaken, my child, and embrace the glory that is your birthright. Know that I am the Overmind, the eternal will of the Swarm, and that you have been created to serve me. Serve the Hive. I control the groove. Serve the Hive. I control the groove. Serve the Hive.
Not ready. That ability isn't ready yet. I'm out of range. Not ready.
Greetings, ladies and gentlemen, and welcome to another World of Warcraft Classic Guide. My name is Cargos, and today I'm very excited to present for your viewing pleasure a comprehensive warrior leveling guide for World of Warcraft 1.12. This is version 2 of the guide. We've since added some juicy nuggets like weapon progression all the way up to 60 for both Alliance and Horde. I was able to spend some time in the database finding all the weapons in the game, finding the relevant ones, sorting them by DPS all the way up to 60, stuff that will hopefully really help you guys out. I've since added some more tips and tricks to the guide, have revised some of the talent choices. I've since kind of flip-flopped on some stuff after getting some great feedback from you guys and some of the collaborators on this project, and stuff of that nature. So let us get started. Quick shout out to stats, and you're able to swing again when it's going to be efficient to do so. You don't want to apply hamstring just as it's about to die, but it's essentially like that. I wish I could demonstrate it for you, but I hope that makes sense. Alright, so the next thing is you're going to want to have start attack macros. So what are start attack macros? Start attack macros are things that you set up so you don't miss out on damage. So oftentimes, like let's say you have no rage and you're trying to rend a target and you don't have auto attack on your bars because you're not a weirdo. You're just going to be standing there like a monkey. You'd have to right click the mob manually. So having a start attack macro baked into all of your abilities will make it so that even if you don't have the rage cast a heroic strike or a rend, you will still at least be auto attacking that target and you won't be missing damage. So in vanilla, they didn't have the / start attack command. You'd have to download something like super macros to make that work. So you have to use this little bit kind of a wonky script here. As you can see, here's an example on the right. Basically, you have to take your auto attack and put it on your like hidden second bar, and then put it on the to make this specific macro work. Then put your auto attack on the rightmost slot. That's going to correspond to use action 24 because that's the 24th slot. But you can use really any inventory slot ID that you would like. You can look up and find there's many pictures out there that will show you what number corresponds to which slot. But that's pretty much the gist of it. Alright, so general tips. Ideally, you want to fight mobs that are equal level or 1 to 2 levels below you. You want to generally, as a warrior, out-level the zones and the content that you're going through. You are pretty vulnerable as a warrior. You can't really fight multiple mobs at once that efficiently. So, being higher level than what you're killing will allow you to hit more often. It will give you a higher margin for error. If you pull an extra mob or something, you're not just going to die. That's what you should strive for. And if you are falling behind as a warrior, and this often happens just in vanilla in general, and you're going into an area where mobs are higher level than you, what you need to do is you need to go find an area that's going to give you good XP per hour, and you're just going to grind there for a couple levels and catch up. That will happen, and just know that will happen. You will have to do that. Alright, so this is my disclaimer. I say this with like every class, but if you're at 100% health as a warrior, you're probably misplaying. You need to push your combat efficiency more. You got to chain pull faster. You got to take some more calculated risks. But if you're just sitting there at full resources, you're missing out on some value, and you're likely misplaying. Alright, so the next thing is don't overkill your mobs with your abilities. Don't just execute something because you can execute something. There's a lot of value in pooling your rage. Don't just heroic strike something because you can heroic strike something. Just finish it off with auto attacks. You don't have to actually use your abilities on them. And being able to pool your rage is going to help you. The higher level you get, the more rage started you get in my experience. When you need like when you're just like mortal striking on cooldown, oftentimes you're not going to have the rage to mortal strike. So just make sure you're spending your rage efficiently and just pool it up whenever possible. You don't have to dump it with heroic strike or anything. So keep your food and first aid up to date. You don't have a lot of heal or sustain as a warrior, So, you know, that's definitely a big part of the equation, your downtime. So having good food and first aid will minimize that downtime and thus speed up your leveling process. Little tips and tricks you can do, stuff like Blood Rage bandaging. If you're not familiar with this, Blood Rage puts you in combat. It just takes a little bit of health away. And let's say you kill mob 1 and you're low on health, but you want to kill mob 2 and you have some rage pulled up. You can Blood Rage and bandage. Your rage will not decay because you're technically in combat while Blood Rage is ticking. You can bandage yourself up, engage that second mob, and have all that rage you had before. Alright, so have a weapon progression plan in mind, and thankfully we have that baked into this guide towards the end. So, you know, look into everything I have listed there and come up with your own little strategy there, but definitely have a weapon progression plan in mind. It is so important as a warrior. It is more important to have a relevant weapon with good stats than all of your primary stats like strength and agility and stuff like that. They don't really move the needle that much, but your weapon moves it more than anything. So if you see a mage, ask for as many stacks of food as you can, tip them, get the intellect buff. The intellect will help you with your weapon skill. Oftentimes as you're leveling, your weapon skill won't be maxed, so anything will help. Keep a one-hander and a shield on you always for shield bash interrupt. Starting at level 12, you get shield bash. Pummel you get way later, it's like 30-something. So it's important that you have a one-hander and a shield on you. You can interrupt heals, you can interrupt like fireballs and stuff like that. Really good to have. And then if you want to save as much gold as possible as a warrior. It's tough to farm up gold as a warrior. You have costly repair bills, yada yada yada. You're upgrading your weapon a lot. You know, it's not like you're a feral druid or something. So skip the majority of your protection skills when training. I barely ever do any tanking when I'm leveling a warrior. If you are going to tank, just take the bare minimum. You can also save money on training stuff like Thunderclap, Cleave, Overpower, Shield Bash. The further ranks don't really increase the damage very much at all. It's kind of negligible, and the effect increase is kind of negligible. Like for Thunderclap, I think it just increases the duration or something, so it's really not that good. Same with Overpower and stuff, so you can save money on these. Alright, Life Pre level 10. Train first aid and skinning. Use whatever weapon has the highest DPS regardless of type. Don't be afraid to use a staff or a polearm or a one-hander if it has higher DPS. Just use your brain. There's a lot of really good staffs out there that have amazing DPS out there in vanilla, so keep in mind, of course, you have to have the weapon proficiency to use it, though. Save every single copper. You will need every single copper. And here's the basic rotation. At level 10, you can start doing at level 8, you can start doing the hamstring method, as we talked about. But you're going to want to charge in generally. Sometimes charge is going to be a liability. There's going to be lots of mobs around. In that case, just face pull up until you can train your ranged weapon attack. So yeah, you're going to charge in, keep your battle shout up. You know, hit them with the auto attack, hamstring, rend, etc., etc. If you're fighting multiple targets, you can tab target rend, so make sure you're keeping rend up on both targets. You can use Thunderclap if you're fighting 2+ mobs, but use it at your discretion, and only really if the mobs you're fighting have higher attack speed. Then at that point, there's sort of a certain critical level where it becomes worth it to use it. Also at level 10, do your defensive stance quest. Alright, so now we're going to talk about talents. So before we switch over to the other screen, I'll talk about just our general game plan when it comes to talents. We're going to start with Two-Handed Fury, all the way up to at minimum level 36 when we get Whirlwind. Some people at this point will want to respec and start cleaving down multiple mobs at the same time with Sweeping Strikes and Whirlwind. But some people like Gilnash, multi-server first warrior, recommend staying Fury, Two-Handed Fury all the way up to 40. Then at 40, you will respec into Arms to have access to the Mortal Strike ability, and then you will proceed back down the Fury tree again. So now we're going to switch over to that other screen, and I will go through the talent build. Alright, so you're level 10, you want to invest your talent points. You're going to start in Fury, and you're going to go 5 out of 5 Cruelty, increasing your critical strike chance. It's a phenomenal talent. And then, in the last version of the guide, I went 5 out of 5 Unbridled Wrath. When fully maxed out, it gives you a 40% chance to generate an additional rage point when you deal damage with a weapon. Now, upon further consideration and talking it out with people like Gilnash, I've kind of been sold on the idea of going Booming Voice here. Monkey News also advocates for this. There's PvP applications, like as Monkey stated, where he says you can get rogues out of stealth because your demo shouts and have a bigger increase of area. But you're mainly using this because you're going to get more consistent value out of this by not having to battle shout as much. It's also just going to be less annoying. So I do think when you have a big, slow, clunky two-handed weapon, having a 40% chance to generate one additional rage point is just not as good as this. I now believe. So the next thing we're going to do is get Piercing Howl at 1 point. This is a fantastic ability. It's going to save your life. When you pull too much, you're going to be able to escape with this. It's good in PvP. Really good ability. We're going to go 3 out of 3 Blood Craze. We're going to go 1 into Improve Battle Shout. We're going to go 5 into Enrage. We're going to go Death Wish at 30, 2 into Improve Execute, back up to Improve Battle Shout, 2 points. We're going to go 5 into Flurry. At this point, we're level 39. When we get 40, we will respec into Arms. So, before we go over to Arms and respec, I'll just talk about some of these really quick. So, this is your little crit synergy package here, Blood Craze and Enrage. Basically, once these come online, you're going to start doing a /sit macro. So you're going to charge in, sit. When you're sitting down, a mob will critically strike you 100% of the time, so you can control when you get crit. So you will have a 100% uptime, 25%, almost 100% uptime, 25% melee damage bonus. You will also regenerate a little bit of your health through Blood Craze and definitely make up for whatever that additional critical strike damage was. And then every time you crit, not every time you get crit, you will proc Flurry, and Flurry will increase your attack speed by 30% for your next 3 swings after dealing a melee critical strike. And Death Wish will give you some more on-demand burst on a cooldown. Alright, so at 40 we will reset, and we are going to spec out like this. We're going to go 3 into Improve Rend, 2 into Deflection, 5 into Tactical Mastery, 1 into Anger Management, 3 into Deep Wounds, 1 into Improved Overpower, 2 into Impale, back into Overpower, 1, 2 into Two-Handed Weapon Specialization, down to Sweeping Strikes. We're going to go 5 out of 5 Axe Specialization, and then we're going to go 2 more into Two-Handed Weapon Specialization. We're going to go 2 into Improved Charge, and finish with 1 into Mortal Strike. So this is what you're going to look like at 40. Some of the noteworthy stuff here. First thing is Anger Management. Some of you might know. Some of you might not know. There's a hidden passive underneath this tooltip here. The tooltip doesn't do this talent justice. It's very counterintuitive. But Anger Management basically makes it so every time you're in combat, you are generating 1 rage every 3 seconds, which will add up. Which will add up as you're fighting, and that definitely makes Anger Management worth it. It also increases the time required for your rage to decay while out of combat by 30%. The other thing that's a little bit different than some of the builds is getting Improved Charge. I've noticed from 40 plus, once you have Mortal Strike, like I said before, you'll be rage starved a lot of the time, and you won't. Mortal Strike will be off cooldown, but you won't be able to use it because you don't have sufficient rage. So in these short fights with mobs, where it's not like in a super long boss fight or something like that, I like getting this little tempo value out of Improved Charge. I like being able to get off that first Mortal Strike more consistently, faster. So I prefer Improved Charge. Some people might want to drop that talent into Improved Hamstring and get 1 more point into Two-Handed Weapon Specialization. But, you know, different strokes for different folks. So you're going to proceed down back into the Fury Tree. 5 out of 5. Cruelty into Booming Voice. Pretty much exactly what we did before. And then you're going to finish off 5 out of 5 in Rage. You should be 60 at this point, and you can respec as you see fit. Alright, so now we talked about talents for a little bit. We're going to talk about life pre-level 20, 10 to 20. So at this stage, you're still very much a single target type of playstyle. You don't really have the tools to handle multiple targets at once, and even if you try to engage multiple targets, you're not just going to be killing them that efficiently. So just killing 1 at a time is going to be your best bet. Keep that one-hander and shield on you starting at level 12 when you get the shield bash. Upgrade your food at level 15 to get the 552 HP per 24-second food. You can skip Mocking Blow and as much as possible in the Prot Tree given your playstyle. And here's a little sample of the rotation as we talked about before. Life 20 to 40. So as soon as you get Blood Craze at 21, you can start practicing sitting mid-combat with a /sit macro. This is going to do what we talked about before. It's going to make you get crit 100% of the time. It doesn't really heal that much, but you can start really integrating this into your rotation, getting comfortable with it. And then once you get Enrage at level 25, it's going to be a bit more impactful. So it's pretty much going to be like this. You're going to charge in, make sure you keep Battle Shout up. You're going to auto-attack, you're going to sit down, you're going to get crit, and you're going to auto-attack, hamstring, move out of range of the hitbox, rinse and repeat, and you're going to basically integrate the sitting into your hamstring method. So it just becomes a little bit more APM intensive, and it's a little annoying, but it's definitely worth it. It's going to speed up your leveling time significantly. Then at 30, you're going to do your Berserker Stance quest. That's where you go off to that island and kill Big Will. For him, it may seem a little tough at first glance, but if you use the hamstring method, you should have no problem. Alright, 40 to 60. This is where you have access to all your tools. You have your Sweeping Strikes, you have your Mortal Strike. At this stage of the game, you're going to get into a little rhythm of killing 1 mob first and pooling rage against that 1 mob. And then transitioning to fight 2 mobs right after that. We're going to cleave them down with Sweeping Strikes. So I would probably level up his arms up until mid to late 40s. At that point, the mobs are too chunky, you're too weak. Mortal Strike, Sweeping Strikes combo that you had, you know, that was so powerful in the early 40s is starting to fall off. You can't sustain through 2 mobs banging on you. So at that point, I would probably transfer over to Fury. It may make tanking dungeons a bit more problematic, you know, 40 plus, but what I would say is I would just respec Prot for those dungeons. Just to be safe anyway, then just go back to Fury after. But I would either two-handed Fury or dual-wield Fury. Fury is going to give you higher single target damage, generally speaking, right? Generally speaking. Less explosive damage, though, because you charge in there as arms and you get a couple overpowers. You get, you know, Mortal Strike hits like a truck, man. You know, you get a Mortal Strike crit or two, or even just one. I mean, the mob's dead. Overpower crit, Mortal Strike crit, it's dead. So you have more explosive damage with arms, but you have lower sustain. And I think Fury has higher single target damage more consistently over time. But you definitely feel the sustain from Bloodthirst. And another thing, like a little thing that I noticed is that I was thinking, okay, with a slow two-hander, there's no way I'm gonna get good value out of my Bloodthirst charges. Somehow you tear through them, man. I think your Whirlwind and anything you hit the mob with will consume that charge. So anyway, that's a quick aside. So that's how I would go in hindsight. I would level arms up until mid 40s, until I got a Thrash Blade or a Resurgence Rod or something, or even IBS, and then I would respec Fury. I want to say more on the talents, but it's just gonna take too long. What I will say is that I don't think any of these talents are trash. I really, really do believe, in my heart of hearts, that all these talents, pretty much, even stuff like Imp Thunderclap. I saw a dude, Big Brain Warrior, playing hardcore the other day, and he went into great detail. I don't want to get into exactly what he was saying, but he went into great detail on why he likes Imp Thunderclap. He was dual wield, and he was just showing me in practice how much rage he was getting. He had the rage to spend on T-Clap. He liked T-Clap. There's a lot to discuss these talents, even stuff like Heroic Strike. You know, some people who want to... It's going to take too long to get through them all. But just know that no matter how you do it, whether your arms or Fury, you can make it work, and it feels pretty damn good. The other thing that kind of stuck out as feeling bad, though, was leveling his Prot. I had high hopes for this. I was in my mind, I was thinking, yo, a penny saved is a penny earned, right? So after I tanked Sunken Temple and went Prot, I was like, you know what? Let me just hang in there on Prot, because I'm going to do BRD soon. And I don't want to respec again. So I went out there and I tried the shield slam stuff. Hey, this is the rotation ABC. It doesn't really make sense. And once you play a war, you'll see what I mean. But I guess that's the point I'm trying to drive home. Your weapons are your guiding light, and you know, don't think that if you are arms and you get like a sick one-hander that you just go, oh man, too bad. You know, I'm arms, I have to use my two-hander. You know, like too bad. Maybe I have to respec Fury in order to use it. You can absolutely make it work. So the other thing I'm going to say is that you'll find people that are very, very passionate. They're either in the arms camp and they're like arms all the way while leveling. There's people in the Fury camp, Fury all the way while leveling. Now, if you're playing on a PvP server, things change. You know, if you're Alliance or Horde, things change. What level range, things change. My only contribution to this discussion would be this. I think that these specs shine at different leveling stages. Most of the time, it's not that serious if you're playing the game normally. You just kind of like beat your head against the keyboard and eventually get 60. It's all good. People don't really care that much. But in hardcore, you only have one life. So and post 40, you have all the gold in the world to respec. You have tons of gold because there's nothing to spend your gold on after getting your mount. So for certain level ranges, to just improve your power level a little bit, you could tactically respec at that point. So there is a lot of information to go over here. I'm kind of overwhelmed, but let me just try to chip away at it. I feel like arms, if I had to do it all over again, would be my generally preferred path, all the way up. I love tactical mastery and anger management. That's these talents right here, the ability to retain your rage when you swap stances. Playing, but let me just try to chip away at it. I feel like arms, if I had to do it all over again, would be my generally preferred path, all the way up. I love tactical mastery and anger management. That's these talents right here, the ability to retain your rage when you swap stances. Playing without those is possible, and if you're just going to be solo and you're not going to do dungeons, you don't really need Tactical Mastery and Anger Management that much. But having those, you definitely feel a massive difference in rage. And if you do plan to tank a dungeon, tanking a dungeon without Tactical Mastery is one of the few things that actually felt exceptionally bad and stuck out and was like, wow, this... Not going to do dungeons, you don't really need Tactical Mastery.
You need something?
Well met. Go with
Hello.
honor, friend.
Safe travels.
And Anger Management that much, but having those, you definitely feel a massive difference in rage. And if you do plan to tank a dungeon, tanking a dungeon without Tactical Mastery is one of the few things that actually felt exceptionally bad and stuck out and was like, wow, this feels really clunky and pretty bad. So I would probably level up his arms up until mid to late 40s. At that point, the mobs are too chunky, you're too weak. Mortal Strike, Sweeping Strikes combo that you had, you know, that was so powerful in the early 40s is starting to fall off. You can't sustain through 2 mobs banging on you. So at that point, I would probably transfer over to Fury. It may make tanking dungeons a bit more problematic, you know, 40 plus, but what I would say is I would just respec Prot for those dungeons. Just to be safe anyway, then just go back to Fury after. But I would either two-handed Fury or dual-wield Fury. Fury is going to give you higher single target damage, generally speaking, right? Generally speaking. Less explosive damage, though, because you charge in there as arms and you get a couple overpowers. You get, you know, Mortal Strike hits like a truck, man. You know, you get a Mortal Strike crit or two, or just even just one. I mean, the mob's dead. Overpower crit, Mortal Strike crit, it's dead. So you have more explosive damage with arms, but you have lower sustain. And I think Fury has higher single target damage more consistently over time. But you definitely feel the sustain from Bloodthirst. And another thing, like a little thing that I noticed is that I was thinking, okay, with a slow two-hander, there's no way I'm gonna get good value out of my Bloodthirst charges. Somehow you tear through them, man. I think your Whirlwind and anything you hit the mob with will consume that charge. So anyway, that's a quick aside. So that's how go in hindsight. I would level arms up until mid 40s, until I got a Thrash Blade or a Resurgence Rod or something. Or even IBS, and then I would respec Fury. I want to say more on the talents, but it's just going to take too long. What I will say is that I don't think any of these talents are trash. I really, really do believe, in my heart of hearts, that all these talents, pretty much, even stuff like Imp Thunderclap. I saw a dude, Big Brain Warrior, playing hardcore the other day. And he went into great detail. I don't want to get into exactly what he was saying, but he went into great detail on why he likes Imp Thunderclap. He was dual wield, and he was going into, he was just showing me in practice how much rage he was getting. He had the rage to spend on T-Clap. He liked T-Clap. There's a lot to discuss with these talents, even stuff like Emperor Strike. You know, some people who wanna, it's gonna take too long to get through them all. But just know that no matter how you do it, whether your arms or fury, you can make it work, and it feels pretty damn good. The other thing that kind of stuck out as feeling bad, though, was leveling his prot. I had high hopes for this. I was in my mind, I was thinking, yo, a penny saved is a penny earned, right? So after I tanked Sunken Temple and went prot, I was like, you know what, let me just hang in there on prot, because I'm going to do BRD soon, and I don't want to respec again. So I went out there and I tried the shield slam stuff and concussive blow it. It felt pretty terrible. You could still do it, but it took too long, and it ultimately was like, yes, I'm mitigating damage, but the fight is taking so long that it just wasn't even in the same ballpark as Fury or Arms, you know? So, there's that. Let me look at the talents as well and see if there's anything else that stands out. Axe spec, polearm spec, these are fantastic, right? Out of all the specializations, weapon specializations, these are my favorites. I love, like, you get kind of addicted to crit as a warrior. You know, you're getting world buffs, you're getting maybe a Songflower or something, you get 5% crit from this, you get 5 from Cruelty, you get Elixir of the Mongoose. It's so fun to see the crits. The crits sound good, they feel good, they're flashy. So polearm spec's kind of slept on. It's basically the same as axe specialization. So there's that. You guys know about Sweeping Strikes, Mortal Strike, really good. Deep Wounds in a hardcore environment can be a liability. Makes a bit of a stronger case for Fury too. You can go arms and skip Deep Wounds, Impale, if you'd like, but this will make it so you can't really fear bandage that consistently. You still can, don't get me wrong. You can find an opportunity to do so, but stuff is always bleeding when you have Deep Wounds. So keep it in mind. I like Imp Charge, it felt really good. If you have a really strong weapon and you feel confident that you're going to invest in your character and get the strongest weapon in each leveling range as early as possible, and you know all the weapons, you know how to get the weapons, you know you're not going to be stuck with some beater weapon for a bunch of levels, you have short fight times, the tempo you get from Imp Charge, love it. Absolutely love it. Let's see, Fury. Booming Voice, this one it makes your shouts 3 minutes. It feels pretty damn good, guys. It actually, to be honest, it feels better than Unbridled Wrath or Imp Emo Shout. If you're going to go two-handed Fury, I wouldn't get Unbridled. This is too low impact. You know, it ends up being like, what, a 40% chance to get 1 additional point of rage when you connect with a slow two-handed weapon. They may give you a tiny bit of rage, but this, out of all 3, felt the best. Imp Emo Shout, I used it for a bit. It was good, but this is going to be good if you have a terrible weapon, if the fights are really long. I had Imp Demo Shout, but I didn't even find myself using Demo Shout because the mobs were just getting destroyed, right? I was just charging in, Ice Barb Spear, slapping the hell out of them, and this just wasn't even worth the global, it wasn't even worth the rage, you know, they were just dying. So, that's another thing, you know, you got to pick your targets wisely as a warrior. You got to know which mobs have low armor, and which don't. Which mobs are going to be perfect targets? Stuff like ghosts, those spirits, ghosts, like those Highborn and Ajar, like down here. Fantastic grinding spot. Low armor, fall over, don't run. Stuff like whelps, satyrs, you know, these blood elves here in Ajar. There's a lot of targets that have low armor. That's what you want to kill as a warrior. But yeah, just so much to consider with each thing. But like at the same time, you know, if you got Unbridled Wrath, you know, this would give you the ability to dual wield a little bit more, because you could just throw on the two, like the one-handers, if you got some, if you came across them. I don't know, man. See, like I don't want to get down the
Go with honor,
Open for
friend.
business.
Greetings.
You need something? See you later.
Light be with you. Light bless you. Need help? For the Alliance. That ability. Need more rage. Not enough rage. Need more rage. Not enough rage. Need more rage. Outstanding! Not enough rage. Need more rage. Can't do that yet. Not that ability. Not enough rage. Need more rage.
Light be with you. Be careful. King's honor, friend. Go with honor, friend.
Not enough rage. Need more rage. Not enough rage. Need more rage. Not enough rage. That ability isn't ready yet. You can't do that yet. I can't use that item yet. Need more rage. Not enough rage. Need more rage. Not ready yet. It's too far away. Not enough rage. Need more rage. Not enough rage. Need more rage. The ability isn't ready yet. I have a target. I need to get closer. Not enough rage. I can't do that yet. It's too far away. Need more rage. I'm out of range. I need to get closer. Not enough rage. Need more rage.
Greetings. Be careful.
I'm out of range. That ability isn't ready yet. Not enough rage. It's too far away. I'm out of range. Not ready. I need to get closer.
Greetings. For the Alliance.
Hello. Have a good one.
King's honor, friend. Light bless you. What are you looking for? Go with honor, friend.
Can I help you? See you around.
Hey there. Have a good one.